Well, pay up or push back. That is the choice facing Toyota after being slapped with the biggest proposed safety fine in history. Bloomberg's chief Washington correspondent Peter Cook is in D.C. with more. Peter.
Well, Deirdre, $16.4 million may not sound like much given Toyota's size, its balance sheet, but it's the biggest proposed civil penalty ever leveled by federal regulators here in the U.S. against an automaker, and it could carry an even higher price tag for the company down the road. Now, Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood says it's justified because the company waited 4 months to tell regulators about its accelerator problems when the law requires notification within 5 days. LaHood saying in a statement, "We now have proof that Toyota failed to live up to its legal obligations. Worse yet, they knowingly hid a dangerous defect for months from U.S. officials and did not take action to protect millions of drivers and their families." Now, the fine comes just as the company was starting to recover somewhat from the safety controversy. Toyota's March sales rose 41% in the United States. The company acknowledges receiving the fine request but hasn't decided how to respond just yet, according to a spokeswoman. It has 2 weeks to accept or contest the fine. The biggest previous fine was a $1 million penalty on GM back in 2004. So how long would it take for Toyota to pay this levy? Based on its first quarter sales in the U.S. of more than 385,000 units, revenue per unit, assume that of $20,000, it would take 4.7 hours. Peter?
So, Peter, why fight if the amount is so small relative to a Toyota size?
Because of the legal implications, perhaps it would be the biggest factor for the company to consider. There are 177 consumer and shareholder lawsuits out there right now, and this fine and the language used by the government could be used by lawyers in all of those cases. The company has to decide whether it wants to fight that, whether it wants to knock down this fine, and again, try and alter this language somewhat. At the same time, it has to weigh whether it wants to take on the federal government even further.